Hello, this is Cresso, and I'm here for part 8 of the Human Journal. In this journal, I'm going to talk about education. Just the whole educational system, how it's built up, and how we go about it, and how it impacts us and our daily lives, especially different parts of the world. But I'm just going to give like a basic. I know every place is somewhat different. Depends where you're from. And I'm going to talk about me briefly on this, about my experience on school, very briefly, okay? I went to kindergarten, okay? It's very different, obviously, than grade school. Most of you probably obviously know that. It's all about, it's just, I look back. Sometimes, every now and then I look back, but kindergarten, me and my friend of mine was talking about this, how the school structure is made. But anyway, kindergarten, got kids having fun, drawing coloring books, all that, playing with toys, learning the ABCs, 1, 2, 3, and all that stuff. Grade school is a different story. I've been to grade school, and first grade, it was just different. You learn all about other stuff, science, math, and other stuff. Again, depends what school you go, depends where you're from. Everything is somewhat similar, but I'm just going to express to you a little bit about my experience. I've been through different schools. I moved to different neighborhoods. I have some issues with different schools based on the neighborhood. I've been to a white school. I've been to a black school. Meaning just schools predominantly white students, and other schools that's predominantly black. It's just been through some stuff. Been through some race issues in schools and all that stuff. And some things I wasn't quick on learning some things. And I never forget, in I think 3rd or 4th grade, I took a test, and I guess obviously the test result was that the school system told my mother, recommended me to go to special ed because I was basically, I wasn't picking things up fast enough. I didn't quite understand what this whole special ed was, but anyway, I quickly learned is that it was about learning disabled. I didn't really like that after a while. I just never really considered myself to be disabled, just because I don't pick things up fast compared to other students. I think one of the things was math and whatever, but to make this really short, so yeah, I've been to different schools, placed in different schools because each school, the school that has the special ed programs, is just very, very challenging in different ways. The school system in New York City is very dysfunctional in so many ways. That's my take on it growing up, especially during the 80s. What it was is that for the special ed program, excuse me, I observe a lot of this, and you got some students that's disabled physically. You got some students that's basically have different emotional issues. Some students are, I don't like using this word, but mental retardation. I think that's the most insulting word ever to anybody to say that to somebody. But anyway, whatever. Just the idea of special in a very negative way is just so whatever. But anyway, but yeah, it's just that it's just amazing. It's just they basically, all the students with all these other emotional problems and physical problems, they put them all in one program. And it was really, it was a very unique experience for myself. I was the type of student that was really kept to myself, and I Obviously I wasn't the loud type, but I was analyzing a lot of students, teachers, myself, and then during the time growing up, trying to figure out how the heck I got in this world. To those that's listened to my clip, you probably know about my background that I'm not of a human. I reincarnated from a different humanoid race, excuse me. And I say these things freely. I say these things online, for example, and honestly, I don't care if anybody thinks I'm crazy, whatever. But that's just the truth, you know. It's been a great deal. Wondered how the heck I got here at the time, but now I do know why I'm here, and I came into this world by my choice. And yeah, it's just all those things was just an experience, you know. That's just part of the human experience, you know. It, you know, being in the special ed program really took. Looking back, it really took a toll on my self-esteem. I going to different schools. You know, my mother, she did her best to really be on top of the school system. You know, the school. Wonder why I'm not getting proper education. Excuse me. You know, proper education. A lot of the times that the student would just sit around or maybe read, do certain things. But anyway, it's just, I'm going to say a little bit more. I'm going to say a lot more detail in my book. I just want to make it brief about my background, okay, on this. And yeah, it's the system is just really not organized. It's just, let's just put it this way, it's very dysfunctional. And I'm just talking about New York City. And I'm pretty certain that a lot of school systems in major cities are pretty much the same, which actually I did heard. For example, Dallas is not really so different in some ways. It's a lot of politics involved between that. Then you deal with the union, the teachers union, depends what state. All this, it's such a huge mess. The school system is just itself is, it's just really, it's a huge mess. And I give kudos to parents that basically homeschool their kids. I honestly, if I had a child in this world, I don't know if I want to send my kids to school. I don't care if it's a private school. I don't care if it's a public school. Honestly, but I'm gonna express a little bit more about my thoughts, a little bit more deeper towards this clip and my ideas about basically just what I envision people doing something different than going to school. But so anyway, I went to high school. Okay, just moving on with my own experience. I went to high school, whatever, graduated, got that little high school diploma. Yeah, that little high school diploma, and you know, I was basically, you know, back then I said to myself, I had a good head on my shoulder. I wasn't a follower. I really was more to myself. I did socialize. I wanted to do things with other kids, you know, as I see other kids doing some activities. But yeah, I learned a lot in school, you know, it's the whole thing, you know. So many different things that's being developed, like the idea of popularity. And I look at this closely, how some kids will just do anything to be popular, and some kids by choice, they follow the other kids because they want to be accepted. You know, they want to, you know, go on a gravy train and just be popular just with the other kids. And I've seen those things. I used to analyze a lot. I guess I analyze so many things about people's behavior and myself. I see myself doing certain things and feeling certain things for so long, man. And I you know, looking back now, everything's all suggested. You know, we develop belief systems, especially whatever, let's say from school, or let's just say obviously a lot more from upbringing. and from upbringing, we bring it to school. So I should have said it like that first. So yeah, I see a lot of students going through some stuff, and you can see it in their face. You know, some students is just whatever. It's the opposite. You know, it's the opposite. All happy. You know that's great. You know, but yeah, I see a lot of stuff. You know, and so yeah, I got my high school diploma, all that stuff. And I didn't know what I want. I wanted to go to college, but at the time, but I didn't want to. I wanted to go. I wanted to be an architect. The different things I wanted to do, but the last thing I remember in high school is that I wanted to be an architect. I didn't want to. I changed my mind because I just didn't like math. Yeah, I just didn't like math. The things I enjoy was art class, and gym. Later on, junior high school, computers. I spoke with a lot of students, and you'd be surprised that a lot of students kind of like the same thing too. Not everybody likes math. I don't know, but I just don't like it, and that doesn't mean. I realize people look down on other people because of certain subjects that they're not good at. Some people look up to some students because they're good at certain things, like math, for example. I'm like, it's just so egotistic, but that doesn't mean it is. Just that your spirit within you have certain preference, certain things that you prefer to align yourself with, and that's just how I look at it. So yeah. So I went. So maybe 4 years after high school, I went to college. I went to trade school. I went to trade school for computers. All right, and I didn't want to. I had an option to go for a second year, but I didn't want to. Just didn't want to. I was at a point, my feeling, that's where it started. I just didn't want to stay or spend any significant more time in a classroom. Honestly, I wanted to do what I have to do and just leave. Honestly, just after a while, I just felt strongly, I just don't like being in the classroom. I just don't. But when I finished and I got my certificate, okay, the school, the trade school itself, the professors wasn't all that great. I sign up. I had to get financial aid and that lovely government handout, and then what else? Financial aid couldn't cover the whole thing, of course, so I had to sign up for a student loan. Anyway, so yeah, I went to trade school. The books, basically, it was kind of like I didn't really use the books. I mean, it was just the school wasn't all that great. It's just I felt like I spend money for nothing on these books. Each book was like $50 or more, depends on the book. But I didn't really learn much. I let's just put it this way. I basically learned a lot more myself. I created my own computer lab. I had 2 computers, and I never forget. I built my own peer-to-peer network. I know that's old school. For those that's into computer, that's like really old school stuff. Like, wow, peer-to-peer network. Yep. I had 2 computers basically able to communicate back and forth. I had Windows NT, I had Windows 98 back then. I spent hours at night. I was so passionate about it. I really was into computers. I'm still am, matter of fact, but I spent hours at night. And I learned more on my own than in the classroom. Kind of wonder, looking back now, like why the heck I go in the first place? I could learn things myself. If you apply it, if you have the passion for it and you believe in yourself, yeah. But I went there because I wanted to get that little certificate, and I was hoping that the school would basically help me get a job. Well, anyway, so I graduated. I moved out of state, and before I go on, I was working full time. I was working full time, and I was going to school full time. I don't know how I did it, but I did. I did whatever I could to cook for myself and did all these things. So yeah, a lot of you that's listening to this will probably can relate to me. But yeah, I went to school full time and worked full time. So anyway, to go back where I last left off. So I never forget, I went to this job fair. Okay, I graduated already, got that little certificate from the trade school. Okay, I never forget when I went to a job fair. Okay, they looked at my resume at the door and they saw that I didn't have any experience. I said, wait a minute. I told them that I do, and they said, no, you have to have at least 6 months to a year working experience. At that moment, I felt very frustrated. I felt, how do I supposed to get experience at working experience if I haven't started? I got to start somewhere. And they couldn't answer that. I quickly learned years later, I was very discouraged. I really stopped pursuing here and there. Not entirely, I did here and there, but things changed, things change, and things do happen for a reason. But I learned years later the reason why that a lot of these jobs, these corporations want somebody with some experience is that I realized that the key is while you're going to college, you have to take internship. Yeah, internship. Yep. Yeah, internship. Most of the internships are basically non-paid. You're not getting paid. If you so happen to get an internship, that's, let's say, a paid internship, that's great. So that means you don't have to work your other job. You could do the paid internship and go to school. Wow. Now, keep in mind, everybody, I just told you not long ago that I was working full time. Okay, and I was going to school full time. I did look back on the internship that at the time my old college offered. They don't offer a paid internships. So looking back, years later, I look back, I'm like, how the heck somebody, if they want to go to a different trade, they want to learn something, right? And they invest in going to school, I realize. I'm like, how the heck you supposed to get in? I'm like, you're not living with your family now, okay? You have your own place, okay? You got to pay rent and all those things, okay? And then you going to school. It's like it's really stupid how the whole system is built up. I mean, we all created it that way, and I realized that. And I call that the gray area. So if you fall under the gray area, basically, you either quit your job, right, and get an internship that you're not paid, but then how are you going to pay your rent? See, a lot of you that's listening to my clip probably can relate. I know some of you feel like, well, a lot of us, I realize within humanity, we think that we accept things that don't seem fair and there's nothing we can do about it. I realize that. I felt that way for a very long time. And I'm like, I didn't give up. There's always a way. But, I mean, I didn't pursue. But, I took care of myself the best I could. I've been through some stuff through the years, but I did what I can, And that's the whole thing with the school system. What I wanted to say is that, and it just all does ties with these corporations. A lot of people, they feel that. And this is my observation with a lot of people, and even myself, but I just want to express how I feel, what I've been seeing from other people. A lot of us we get attached to the idea so much that if you go to a particular school, okay, that's going to define you. That's going to set you up. That's going to, for example, that's going to dictate your future. And that's the thing I realize about a lot of people. We do this. And, I realize that, a lot of people really, they're limiting themselves by this idea. But I know everything's by choice. Okay? Not realizing that you're creating belief systems. You see, you're creating a belief system within yourself that you feel that the only way for you to make it or get ahead, for example, is you go to this particular school. Okay? And that's the thing. To me, I look at it like this. It's a school. Okay? You stay in the classroom, you buy textbooks and whatever. Okay? And that's the thing, you got one school, one people able to get that nice fancy American dream job over the next person because one person went to, let's just say, for example, somebody went to Harvard. Okay? Person graduated, they're applying for the job. Somebody else, let's say the next person's, okay, graduated. Okay, both people, graduate from a city, let's just put it this way, a city college or a county college, whatever. Both people, Harvard and the person that went to a city college, they both went to school for the same subject, okay, for the same major, okay. How it is with these corporations is that, and again, I just want to emphasize on this, we set it up this way, okay, in spirit, we did, okay. And I'm going to say something else right after this. You see, the person that got selected, the person that, the two people that applied for a job, the person from Harvard got selected for the job over the person basically that that got a degree in a city college. And that's the thing, it's this recognition. This school, Harvard, that makes you the golden child. So if you go to Harvard, you're a golden child to a lot of these corporations. Now, I say this, that we all created this in spirit now, because it's like this. It's all about how you feel about yourself. You see, and I know there's some other stuff that I wanted to say, but we put value into things outside of us. You think that the college that you go to is more valuable than you, and you have to put your name right by the college name on your resume. That will make you go far, and that's the thing. I see that it does limit people. You're not really seeing yourself as value. See, you are value, not the school. But see, that's the thing, that we develop these belief systems, and that's why a lot of people feel so frustrated. A lot of people are competing. They're competing. What school to go, if they're being picked, taking those ridiculous SATs tests, getting stressed out like the world's gonna end if they don't get certain. If their score is not in a certain, they're not getting a certain score at the SAT marks, or let's say, or let's just put it this way, their GPA in college. And it's the thing, I kind of laugh at this. The job that you're applying, they want to look at your GPA. I'm like, why don't you just hand them all your paper, all your work that you did in college, just hand it to them. Here's my midterms and all those other stuff, right? I got A's and B's and all. Why don't you just hand them that? It's like, it's just ridiculous how the system is set up. But we did it. We created it that way because we don't value ourselves. We value we put numbers and marks as more value than you. I know it's kind of different than what you're hearing right now, but really, really take it in what I'm saying. Now I'm gonna say this: my GPA, I don't know. I don't like to compare myself to other people. I don't know, but I just have to make points here. for you to understand what I'm talking about. My GPA compared to somebody else, like whatever, maybe average, below. But you see, I made a decision that I'm not going to let my college GPA define who I really am. I don't care what the marks tells me or the point system tells me. I am intelligent, or I could say I'm brilliant. That's the truth. It's not my opinion. You could say it's opinion or whatever, but I'm just telling you the truth. So I don't need that I don't need a college degree or certificate or whatever, a piece of paper to define who I really am. And that's the whole thing about the whole school system. It's all about the grade. It's all about the grade. And I'm gonna put it this way: what I've been my whole observation with school, period. You see, going to school, okay, you could be the most, and the truth is you are a brilliant, you are gifted in so many ways, but I'm gonna tell you this, everybody. Maybe you don't really see this right now, maybe because you're caught up because of your belief system from your upbringing about how school is important. I'm gonna say this: no matter the dreams that you have inside, whatever you dream, whatever you want to do with your life, okay? You see, the school system, how it's built up is you're not good enough. If you want to be, let's say whatever you want to be, okay? Whatever. And you tell your professor or your teacher, hey, this is what I want to do after school. This is where I want to be, or whatever, right? As a profession. Point is that, again, you're not good enough. You gotta make the grade. You gotta make the grade. So no matter how hard you try, you're just not good enough. You're just not. You could take what I'm saying or leave it. The only thing that matters is those marks. That's it. It's the grade. Then on top of that, you're competing. It's all about competition. I see a lot of students, they stress about being in the dean's list, they're so proud and all that, and I'm like, looking back at this now, I was like, all this stuff is so small. It's like, it really means absolutely nothing. And if we're gonna talk about what life really is, the dean list, your diploma, your college degree, I know it seems to the ego mind, it seems like, wow, it's like that's it, that's all to life. But if you really, really look outside of that, let's just picture yourself in a far end of the universe, and you look at Earth. Earth is just like a tiny dot, it's like a sand. It's like a tiny rock, let's just put it this way. A little small rock. You see, your little certificate or that diploma that you made is so tiny, very tiny. You, on the other hand, you see, in spirit, you are literally big. Infinite, large, whatever word you could think of that's just defined as something big, or maybe I have to say you're grand. Whatever. It's just actually maybe there's no size because we're all consciousness. All those things seem so good, it makes you proud, You think that because you're going and you getting these degrees and all that, it makes you somebody. And that's the thing I learned growing up. I hear things like, I want to be somebody. You want to be somebody? Wow. That's just pretty deep. You want to be somebody? So because of a belief system, we don't see ourselves value. You see, we attach ourselves. I realize that. I see people that they attach themselves to other ideas to define them, to lift them up. And yet, all those people, every single person is consciousness. The fact, whether you agree or not, okay, whether you like it or not, you are consciousness. And that means, see, that means everything in life and beyond, this universe and all the multi-universe and everything beyond that and everything, all that is connected to you. Because of these belief systems that we put on ourselves, it creates, like I told you in my previous part, it creates thought forms. And thought forms creates reality. So yeah, you're gonna create a reality that you're just a small little person. You're a little person. You're a little person that's just trying to get the grade and just try to get ahead. And then you basically find yourself in a maze. You're in a maze trying to figure out which direction to go. You're in a reality that corporations, okay, these good old American dream job, they're going to basically to dictate what your future is going to be. Like, for example, in the interview, you've been rejected. Then you get that nice thank you letter. We selected a candidate that's more suitable for the job, and blah, 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 blah. The reason why you've been through that is because your thought forms created your reality. You didn't see yourself as value. You allow a job and you allow a school to basically dictate you or to define who you really are. But I know that all these things is just an experience. It's amazing. I look back on this. It's just like, I'm just not the same being. I know who I am. I don't need any other idea to define me. Okay. I create ideas, but these ideas don't define me. That's the thing, about school. It's like, wow, and I go back further. Like, I see a lot of parents, you just see around. You see how parents, they're so worried about basically if you don't go to school or if you don't go to college, what's going to happen to you? And that's the thing with humanity, a good portion of humanity, that it's the what if. What if you don't go to school? Where you going to go? So parents not realizing that they injecting fear into your mind. And then it depends on you. Okay, it depends on your, whatever belief system that you're going to create within by listening to your parents, you're going to attach onto that. And then you're going to put this unnecessary pressure on yourself. If you're not going to, whether if you should go to college or what type of college you should go, or the Ivy League school. Should I go to the Ivy League school? And then you gotta, depends on your life. Again, it depends where you are. If you fall in a gray area, you're screwed. I mean, nobody's never screwed, but the reality that you put yourself under suggests that you're screwed, because you see, you're supporting yourself. Let's say for those that supporting themselves, they're not living with their mommy and daddy anymore. Okay, but you got to work. Let's say you don't qualify for the financial aid, that nice government handout. Then you have to put yourself under a loan. It depends on the school, depends on how many classes you take in college. Then you got to pay that back. Some of you got that nice little corporate American dream job. Some of you don't. Some of you just go probably get a job at McDonald's or Starbucks right after college. And you feel like, man, this is not exactly what I planned. In a way you did. You know why? Because you didn't accept it that you are value. You gave an idea of value over yourself. The school that you invested your time and money in, the school is more valuable than you. The job is more valuable than you. So that's why you line yourself up in certain ideas, certain things. So, but it's not like it's too late. You could shift to different realities. I realized within myself too. A lot of people I observe, a lot of people feel like they just don't know what to do with themselves. A lot of people complain about college expenses and all that, And it's a pattern. I see this within people. Parents think that going to school, they stress their kids going to school. That's all there is to life. And that's the thing too. I could go back further. The whole thing with the educational system is to shape and program you into the working class. That's it. That's really it. Most schools are very traditional. Very traditional. And competition, you know, which student is smarter, which one is stupid, and that's what the idea suggests. Nobody's really stupid, but the ideas will suggest that. Okay, and what else? Yeah, a lot of kids going. I see students going through so much pressure, and people posting on Facebook and Twitter. Hey, I got accepted to this college. Like they won the lottery. Like, wow, you know, it's like, you know, it's you know, I understand it's the pride, you know, but the thing I want to say is that when you don't see yourself as value and you put ideas like college, a particular institution, over you, you're gonna set yourself in a reality that you're not gonna be very happy in the end. And I feel like a lot of people by choice don't know that until you wake up and until you find yourself who you really are. You won't let any of these ideas dictate you, okay? You're gonna be the one in charge because that's the truth. You're gonna be the one in full control of your life. And it's just about the knowing. It's like, you know, without a doubt. So yeah. The schools are very, to go back, the schools are very traditional. And, you know, I want to express in this journal that I feel, and I truly believe, and I envision this lately, okay? This is what I envision. A lot of everybody, instead of being in a classroom, people are able to open their minds up. Okay, people are basically being creative. You know, I know you feel like reading a textbook, something that happened eons ago. You figured that you have to learn that, and you have to read other stuff that's basically irrelevant to whatever you want to do. You feel like that's the only way to be, or that's the only route that's available. But there's other ways. You know, I feel like if people are able to be themselves more, I'm talking about be creative, okay? Because no matter what, no matter who you are creative now, okay? Even though you might not feel that way at the moment, but you are creative. If you open your mind, okay, spiritually, you are abundantly, like, you are creative. I mean, you that's just it. And same for me. You know, I'm very creative, okay? People getting out of the classroom, basically just creating, inventing. I feel like a lot of people, a good number of people, are either explorer. You like to explore, and you like to invent things. You like to invent new ideas and stuff. And that's the thing. A lot of college and a lot of these public schools, or for example, they don't really introduce any fresh ideas. It's the same stuff generation after generation. They don't really talk about anything fresh. You know, it's all about shaping you and programming you into the working class, the 9-to-5ers. Yep, the 9-to-5ers. So, you know, I could go further. I could say it's basically, you know, when you finish college, okay, not only you get your certificate or your diploma or your degree, you get that hamster wheel, you know, the hamster wheel that you get. So you take that hamster wheel, and depends what job you go, okay, your hamster wheel is going to basically be your cubicle. And see, and you're in that hamster wheel. You keep going around and around and round and round. And let's just say you're there, you got that nice American dream job, okay, and you're in that hamster wheel. You're gonna, you gotta spend the next 50 plus years to get that nice pension too. So you gotta work extra hard on that wheel. So yeah, the college will give you that hamster wheel along with your degree. I know I'm being humorous, but I'm just being very blunt. So yeah, the schools, the education system will basically shape and program you into the working class right from first grade. But I feel like if, the thing is, what I envision, again, what makes me excited, and that's another reason why I'm explaining that I'm doing this journal club, is because people basically introducing fresh new ideas and not being a damn classroom. And it's not about marks either. It's not about you getting a stupid certificate. It's about you showing off who you really are. You're bringing everything outside, from the inside outside. Everything that you possess inside, the infinite wisdom and intelligence, all that from within, you bringing it out. And and again, you're not about competing against anybody. That's the thing I see within humanity. We feel like competing, you think, is bring the best out of you. Not really. I mean, we all came from source of life, so it's not like you're competing something outside of you in a sense. It's I could go like this. It's like you're really competing against yourself. I mean, you and that person that you don't like in the next classroom, you are basically came from source of life. I mean, you are source. So it's not like someone is better than you. Each person, I could say like this, each person, I believe, that is unique in their way, but you're still consciousness. Okay? You and that person that you say that you don't like, for example, you both feel consciousness. So yeah, having a different type of campus, but everything is outside of a classroom. Just really break out the old ideas, these old traditional ideas. It's not about grades. It's not about getting a grade to get ahead. I mean, really, it's not about that. It's about being imaginative. See, when you imagine, that's when you're creating things. That's the thing I respect about Einstein. Einstein understand about being to imagine something. And that's how it brings the best out of you. You're being creative, It's not about, again, it's not about basically, oh, I got straight A's. Oh, I got all this. Oh, my GPA score is this high. Oh my gosh. It's not really about that. You're much bigger than that. There's no comparison between you and those GPA scores or you, whether you're gonna get a straight A or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I envision a lot of people gathering, and maybe in a park or maybe somewhere, and just coming up with ideas. I mean, if you just let go and stop being so egotistic, and you just let go, because you are spiritual beings now, regardless if you're in a physical body, you are spiritual beings. If you just let go and not be so egotistic and just embrace who you really are, you could, I mean, it's just, I'm just amazed even talking about this now. That's how I feel right now. I'm amazed at myself. There's so much you can offer, really. People just getting together and just sharing ideas, whatever you want to do in this world, or wherever you go, and your mentality. I see people right now. I see people more relaxed. You're not edged up. You're not drinking Red Bull like 24/7 to stay up and study these stupid, dumb textbooks. I mean, and whether you're gonna pass or not. But the thing is that you're so relaxed. You're just being you. That's it. And you're doing what you like to do. And that's the best thing. And that's the thing I realized within humanity for so long, is that we take things that we really don't want to do. We feel like, there's a barrier outside of us that's stopping us from doing what we want to do. But then I realized that there is nobody putting a barrier. It's us. We create barriers for ourselves. So yeah, because it's all based on belief system. I've been sharing this on my other human journal. When you have certain belief systems, about yourself, about life. You see, your mind will create thought forms, and thought forms will create your reality. There's no coincidence, and there's no secret about this. So until you unlock, or like I just say, until you open up and accept who you are, and that is, you are intelligent. I don't care what your mind tells you. I don't care what your upbringing tells you. I don't care what your school tells you. You are intelligent. Okay? Be who you are. And I'm saying this to inspire you and myself. You are valued. That diploma is not more valuable than you at all. And I realize, again, I want to say it before I end this topic. It's like, again, what the thing I also wanted to mention is fear. And I did mention this about our upbringing. Our parents, or your grandmother, or your aunt, whoever, will throw a lot of fear scenarios at you. Oh, where are you going to end up? If you don't get the proper education, where are you going to end up? What are you going to be collecting? You're going to be on welfare? Sorry if I'm offended someone that's on welfare, but I'm just telling you a lot of stuff that I hear. Not towards me directly, but just the stuff that you just know how people talk, or family issues and whatever. So yeah, fear. And it's all based off because of a job, about money. There's a lot of people, you know what, and that's the thing too, and it's been proven too. There's a lot of people that didn't do the traditionalist way of going to college. There's a lot of people that drop out of college, and I understand fully now why people drop out of college. It is so pointless. It really is. But there's a lot of people, and there's a lot more people that you probably don't even know of. Maybe the people that's successful or whatever, line themselves what they want to do, for example, right? You probably don't hear from them, but there's a lot of people that drop out of college or haven't even finished grade school. And I don't know, I can't say who off the top of my head, but there's a lot of people doing very, very well in their life, and they didn't finish not even grade school, and they didn't finish college. So, yeah. And that's the thing, I feel like we it's funny, a lot of us, we decide to forget about those examples that I mentioned because we allow fear to dictate us. So because you don't go to college, that means you're screwed. And because, again, it's all because of the job situation, the workforce, or let's just say the corporation. We design these corporations to basically look at you. If you don't have 5 different degrees, that means you're not qualified for the job. And if you're not qualified for the job, then how are you going to basically survive? And I just want to break it down like that. I see, the thing is, everybody, we do this to ourselves. When you become less creative and you don't find yourself, okay, if you don't see yourself as value, you see, these things that I just mentioned are going to basically shape your reality. Your thought form is going to shape your reality that you're just a nobody. You're just a little person. That's all you are. You're just a little person that's just trying to climb his way or her way to the top. And that's it. That's just your life. But the people that basically stick by, okay, and doing what they enjoy doing, I'm going to focus on the good things about this. And a lot of people like to stick with the underdog story. There's some people like to stick with the underdog story that, oh, I dropped out of college and things was rough and all that, and make that as a bigger highlight than what they actually enjoy doing. No. I like to focus on like this. The person is enjoying what he or she's doing. That's it. Yes, whatever they've been through, fine. That's like a brief bump, whatever. The point is that the person is doing what he or she enjoys doing. That's it. And it's basically is recondition your mind, okay, to basically change your belief systems about yourself, and that you see that you are valued, and point blankly, you are fearless. So that's that. I think that's it. I think I cover a great deal. Just thinking back right now, trying to see if I could remember something else I wanted to add. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to share this because I've been wanting to express this for a while. But you know, and it's not just, you see, it's not just the U.S. It's a lot of parts of the world. Other parts of the world, they look at education like food. The people that values education so much, and it depends where they're from. It could be somebody from Africa or some other places. I met other people from other parts of the world, and they look at education like it's like, and they fall under the same thing what you fall under. You see, they want to get that nice little corporate job too. That's all it is. Okay. See, the people in Africa, okay, you could agree with me or not, okay. People in Africa, they're intelligent. Do they need the textbooks to be intelligent? Not really. If a lot of people, no matter where you're from, when you open yourself up, okay, see, a lot of us have infinite knowledge, okay. Infinite knowledge, I feel like a lot of us get this twisted. We think knowledge is about calculations and remembering history of such and such that happens many generations ago from whoever, and it's on a book, whatever. So you think that makes you smarter because you're able to remember certain things. Okay. The thing is, infinite knowledge is basically embracing a peace of mind, okay? Believe it or not, having a peace of mind, knowing who you are, knowing that you can attract something that's basically going to benefit you, okay? That's basically going to benefit you, okay? You are power, okay? You are creative. You could build something. I don't know what you could build. I can't say off the top on a physical, but I could imagine that you're capable of building a lot of things. Just throwing basic examples, okay? You know, I do think it's great when a lot of people bridge their knowledge, everything together, or let's say other types of knowledge also circulated. That's great too, you know? All I'm trying to say is that every individual around this world has a lot of knowledge within. I'm talking about infinite knowledge. If you let go and change your belief systems about yourself, no matter where you're from, well, you think that you don't have, let's say, how to say this? Let's say you don't have enough clothes on your back and you feel a certain way or whatever, or you compare yourself to somebody else from another country and you think, oh, I wish I'd like to be like him or her, and on top of that, I could speak right or I have more education. I'm like, if you let go of these belief systems that you have in yourself and accept who you really are, that beneath your body and everything, you have so much stuff that you could do if you could just literally believe in yourself. And that's the meat that I'm trying to say here. If you could just believe in yourself and let go of certain belief system that you're nothing, and you need a piece of paper to basically define you, I'm like, you are valued. If you decide to let go of your ego and understand who you are, and I'm saying it's not just to you, but to myself, as a reminder for myself, because my own head tries to get in there and try to knock me down. I'm like, no, I know who I am. You let go of certain belief system, trust me, you could definitely shift to so many different realities that your own head will tell you it is impossible. And I'm here to tell you, my friends, it's not impossible. I got to a point in life and spiritually that it is nothing impossible. I've been saying this in my journal clips. It takes work to reprogram your mind, but everything is possible. It's not impossible. It's not hard though. It may feel like it's hard to reprogram your mind and the deep belief systems that you have growing up. It may seem like it's hard because your head is telling you it's too hard. Trust me, when you start to do this, it will get to a point, even your own mind will say, oh, this is easy. But spiritually, you're more than capable of reprogramming your mind and shift to different realities. So I just want to, that's some of the stuff I just want to close out on this. It's very important to know that your value, changing your belief systems, creating a new type of school or something that you could just basically get together with everybody, for example, and just basically discussing something fresh, something different, doing something that you love doing. I think that's the great thing. I see joy in people when they're doing something. When I talk to somebody and they're telling me, yeah, I'm doing exactly what I like to do, I see the joy in that person's face. You see, I envision that in everybody's face. Everybody's face. Okay, that's basically all I got to say on this journal. Until then, I will be back for the part 9 of the Human Journal. Take care.